From dazzling the ramp in Jaipur to now representing India on a global stage in Thailand, we have Manika Vishwakarma with us, Miss Universe India 2025. Manika, thank you so much for taking our time and joining us today.
Thank you so much, Nikita and WION, for having me here. It's my absolute pleasure.
Manika, my first question has to be the most cliche one, which I'm sure you've been asked multiple times, but we still want to know, how was it winning that crown in Jaipur and making your dreams come true?
It was surreal and it was relieving, to be honest, because being on that stage last year and not making it, but this year when I was standing there in my home state, in my field, in my area, and being in the heart of Jaipur in Z Studios, when I stood there, when my name was about to be announced, it felt surreal. And when the name was announced, it was just relieving. I always imagined myself crying, but in that moment there was this sore feeling of calmness that has just instilled in me. So just beautiful to say.
Wow, and that's such an inspiring story. I think we don't know about this comeback that you had from last year, and you happen to be in the same venue, right? So how was that? Tell us everything about that.
Yes, so my pageant journey actually started last year when I participated in Miss Universe Rajasthan 2024. I just filled out my form without any preparation or anything. I entered the pageant. But as luck would have it, I ended up winning Miss Universe Rajasthan. And I got this beautiful chance of representing Rajasthan at Miss Universe India 2024. I was on that stage, but not prepared, and it kind of made me feel so sad that I had the opportunity that I had been dreaming of for my entire life, and I felt that I wish I had done better. So I placed in top 20, I was top 5 best in speech, but I wanted to make a comeback.
And what a comeback. And we can't wait for you to get the crown back for us in Thailand. So I have to ask you, Manika, what do you think you did differently this year after you made this comeback and actually got the crown? Anything, did you, I don't know, was it your discipline, or was it working on some skills, or just believing in yourself better? What was it that, according to you, made you win the crown this year?
So my experiences from the last year's Miss Universe India 2024 were actually the ones which really helped me. And in Indian pageantry in general, we don't really see that many comebacks. However, how many we have seen have always been the most iconic ones. So that is what inspired me, and I took all of those lessons and I applied them in Miss Universe India 2025.
Manika, talking about mentorship, I believe in any industry that you're in, it's important to have that one mentor, that one guide, someone who really knows you, knows your strengths and your weaknesses. So for you, who was that one mentor?
I've always believed that a guru is necessary to excel in any field. I've never had that in pageantry before. And that is one change that truly happened after the 2024's contest. When I joined Beauty High, I got to have a few sessions with Nikhil sir, who is also our national director. One person who truly had a vision for Indian pageantry, to have inclusion and to have a vision of creating queens whose impact can last for a lifetime. He's the person who always had a diary in his hand. He's the person who always keeps notes of everybody's weaknesses, everybody's strengths, and has always told a few pointers that you don't really win by becoming best in everything. You win actually by becoming best among everyone and always performing with consistency. You need to have a vision when it comes to pageants. You need to have a vision about how you're going to wear that sash of India. About communication, for example, he's the person who always said that it's not the best answer that wins. It's the answer which is most balanced that wins. He's the person who believes that everybody as a beauty queen can make mistake on a stage. I, for example, tripped at my national pageant.
Not a pretty sight.
It can feel like your dreams have ended. But one belief that actually kept me going was that it's not one tripping or one mistake that's going to end my dream. It's about a journey of becoming best amongst everybody.
And moving on, would love to know your journey from Sri Ganganagar in Rajasthan, that's your hometown, to then now representing India on a global stage in Thailand and taking, our legend of Miss Universe India forward. So how was that journey? And also, Manika, when did you know that you want to enter this industry and actually make a difference? Was it when you were, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years? So would love to know that.
So I was merely 3 or 4 when I actually was
Wow.
fascinated,
That was pretty close, yeah.
fascinated by the beauty of a crown. When we stay in Ganganagar, there is not really enough of exposure about the industry, first of all. Yet, being from that city, being from Rajasthan, I believe that city always kept me humble. That city always kept me grounded. And that is where I felt that I was always connected from my roots. And that was my biggest strength, I believed, in the pageant. That I understand India in its truest form. And that's why I believe that I should be Miss Universe India, that I should be Miss Universe. Because when I get the platform, I can truly speak for the nation. I can truly speak for the community. And coming from the decision, I was 4 when I decided that I want to have that crown without actually understanding what that crown truly meant. Yeah. And from there on till now, it has been a journey of understanding what truly infinite beauty and confidence truly means.
As audiences, as viewers, we see the glitz and glam side of the pageantry and we love it. We absolutely love it. But there's a whole story behind it. So tell us a bit about what it really takes to be a beauty queen.
We see the glitz and glam of the pageants all along, but one part of it which is not visible is the amount of hard work girls are putting in. It's a 30-day long pageant, and in those 30 days there are sleepless nights. There are times when you're really struggling to understand the fact that why are we even participating in a pageant like this? Why are we part of something which is so grueling, so draining sometimes? And it makes you question your purpose altogether. And in that moment, I realized that it's important to understand why you began in the first place, why that little girl wanted to be a part of this altogether. And that is what truly makes it special. When we talk about the challenges in a beauty pageant, it can get so draining at times, to be honest, because you have to be consistent every single day with everything, whether we talk about sponsor deliverables or your practice every single day. You have to stay fit.
How many hours did you guys practice?
Oh, it depends upon everybody, but yes, as far as the rehearsals are concerned, sometimes rehearsals, stage rehearsals can sometimes go up to like 15 hours.
Wow.
It can be.
Continuously?
Yes.
15 hours?
So we are dancing on
in those heels?
Yes. I think it's the ability to shine on that stage, to smile and remember why they are there in the first place that truly makes it so inspiring for me. Because on that day, if you notice, Nikita, everybody is smiling, everybody is shining in their best self. You can't really figure out if they're tired or drained. And that shine on their face, I think that's what truly makes all of them a queen.
Right from day one, you notice that the competition is tough. Everyone's stunning. Everyone has, they are all confident. They're all representing their state and everyone has their strengths. So what really kept you in your zone? Where you didn't get fluttered, you didn't get distracted, you were on your own path because, of course we don't want you to spill all your secrets, but, what do you think really worked for you, Manika, by the end of it?
I think one factor that truly worked for me altogether was the fact that I was always focused on my performance. I always had a plan.
There's no comparison?
There is no comparison.
Yeah.
When I talk about one quality that I always look for in a queen, even now when I get to sit on the other side of the table as a judge, and I've always said this, that when I sit on that chair, I'm only looking for one quality, and that is competence, not competitiveness. As much as somebody says that being competitive actually helps you perform better, I don't believe so.
Really? That's interesting. Tell us more about that.
So what happens is, in a competition, when there are so many girls coming from different backgrounds, different states, so many different beliefs are coming together with different strategies, sometimes you can get distracted. The way to crown is through your vision. You are a different person. You have different strengths, and the easier and the quicker you understand that, the easier it will be to actually win. What happens is, you have a game plan. For example, I had mine since day one. But if you don't choose to stick to it and you start observing what others are doing, when you try to be better than somebody else, you realize that their game plan was something different altogether, and you go on to work on their path and you lose a sight of yours. And that is where you get distracted, and that is where you start losing in the competition.
Wow.
The way to shine is by shining in your own light, not to try to steal somebody else's spotlight.
You're 22, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So much wisdom at the age of 22, Manika. That's amazing, and kudos to your family for that. That kind of upbringing, and having that kind of approach towards life. Because yes, a lot of us, I think, we do lose ourselves in that race.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
And it's important to be in competition, I think, with yourself and just be better.
You can never be
day.
the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is a reality of beauty
Yeah.
pageants and international beauty pageants, which I was told very early on by Nikhil sir that, Manika, so many beautiful girls are there on the international stage that there is no competition in terms of beauty. The day you understand what beauty pageants stand for, that is the day when the game starts changing. You are never going to be the tallest, you're never going to be the prettiest, you're never going to be the best at ramp walk or best in communication. The only thing you have to be best at is creating impact. One thing that truly makes Indian beauty queens the best in the world and in the history, for example, such as Sushmita Sen and Lara Datta, is the fact that these queens, whichever rooms they entered in, they left an impact which was unforgettable.
So, Manika, have you met any one of our previous queens, Miss India's Sushmita Sen, Lara Datta, Harnas Kaur Sandhu, who again made us really proud on an international platform?
Gosh, not yet.
Not yet? All right. So, if given an opportunity, what is that one question you'd like to ask each one of them, starting with Sushmita Sen?
How does it feel that you've inspired so many little girls to explore the universe? That's the question.
Absolutely, and I'm sure there are multiple stories to it, and I'm sure they had their own challenges. Yeah.
These queens, especially Sushmita, in childhood when I started exploring her and her life story, it was my mother who used to tell me about her. And as girls, I feel we are so burdened with so many responsibilities and so many perceptions and ideas that we are supposed to keep up with. When I studied Sushmita, I realized that she was defying all of these norms, all of these stereotypes all together. So how does it feel that little girls are looking up to you and their thinking from the very beginning is getting transformed by the actions and the words that you've been saying? She's the person who defied the idea of marriage, defied the idea of becoming a biological mother and yet becoming one by adopting a child, and achieving something so huge at the age of 18, entering an industry and exiting the industry when she wanted to. She was someone who has defied the entire idea of having a clock for anything in life from the very beginning. So how does it feel? That's one thing I always wanted to ask her. Her life story is one of the best that I've ever heard and I've ever witnessed. So yeah, that's the thing.
I'm sure she can't wait to answer these questions, and I hope you get to meet all of them very soon. Also, Manika, again, how does it feel to share that space with them now? I mean, they're icons and it looked up to by so many other young girls and people from around the world. So how does it feel to share that same platform with them?
It feels like a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Miss Universe as a platform advocates to be confidently beautiful with the heart. And that means that you're not just a beauty. You're a person who says something, who gets to represent something, and then you're supposed to actually keep up with these words throughout your life. You're supposed to keep up with these words throughout your life. And that is what truly makes that entire feeling so surreal, that I'll be there and I'll be representing something and I'll get to actually continue with my advocacy, with my beliefs and with my ideas throughout my life. And that is why it's so special that I'll get to have that stage where I can now inspire those little girls. I can be that role model to those little girls who will look up to me and they can finally understand and defy odds in their own way.
Absolutely, and all the best for that. We're sure you're going to do a fabulous job talking about your own passions and your your path of advocacy. I believe you're really passionate about neurodivergence as a subject. Now, again, would love to know, how did you get inspired to speak about such causes and speak about ADHD and autism? And so again, what is the story back there, Manika? Would love to know.
The story is that I've been going to my mother's school since I was a kid. And then and there, I used to observe that certain kids were very brilliant, they were amazing, yet they really struggled with being in the class. They were really notorious sometimes they struggled with attention, and they were not able to perform as good as they were supposed to in academics. And that is when my mother told me that there are some kids who are slightly different. And this particular education system that we have is not fit for them. And that's when I understood that these are the neurodivergence. And I believe that neurodivergence is not really a limitation. Every brain is a universe of its own. Some are made for rhythm, some are made for patterns, and some are made for music.
Yeah.
So if we see it that way, the brains are just different. They are not limited. And when I got diagnosed with ADHD, that was a moment where my heart felt like it broke, to be honest.
And when did you discover that? What age?
It was last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I felt like maybe I would just, after winning Miss Universe
Oh.
Rajasthan,
Okay.
I realized that, and it kind of broke my heart that I had it. In the beginning, I felt like maybe I should keep it close to my heart. Maybe I should never tell about it to anyone. Maybe I should try to just keep up with it and not take any action about it. And that is when I understood that life starts to make sense when you seek help, when you seek and accept that you have something which makes you different. Not smaller than anybody, but just different. And that is when I realized that how special being a neurodivergent is. And the world may be not made for you, but you can truly make a difference. And that is what inspired me to start Neuronova. It's an organization and a platform where neurodivergents can come up, they can share their stories. Our aim is to first of all spread awareness, second is to take action, and third is to actually form policies and suggestions that can make impact in the long run.
Right.
My aim is to transform education world in a way that we can incorporate certain methods through which educating neurodivergence, such as people with dyscalculias, people with ADHD, autism, can finally receive education and become the best versions of themselves. I believe education is such a basic amenity.
Each condition has its own set of skills and strengths. So any statistics that you'd like to share with us that you know of?
So neurodivergence, especially people with ADHD and so many other conditions, are known for being super creative. These are the people who don't get tired. If they actually love something, we can invest hours and hours in it. We might be called as the attention deficit ones, but we also are the ones who are known for getting hyper fixated on something. So we can go on for hours about it. And that's why so many of the businessmen, so many successful people have been diagnosed with it, and turns out all of their skills and all of their strengths actually come from it and they stem from it. So you must have heard about Elon Musk, you must have heard about Alia Bhatt, and so many other people are there who are actually suffering from this, but they're not really suffering. They're actually thriving with ADHD. And that's what truly makes them different. When we see them talking, we see that there is a difference. There is a spark in them when they talk about their passions. So that's about it, that more than 20% of the millionaires have it, and around in the world 7% of the people have ADHD, and that is what truly makes us realize that these people are not just part of society but actually the driving force of society.
So Manika, we've spoken about all the behind the scenes preparations and we know it's really hard. We really want to know, again, you spending hours together. You mentioned, you have rehearsals stretching 15 hours and beyond in those 6-inch heels. So how is the atmosphere there? Because everyone is stressed, everyone wants to win. So again, but do people keep their personal friendships aside and competitions aside, or how is it? Is it pleasant, or behind the scenes, everyone, matters their own business, or, it can get a little toxic at times? What do you feel about that?
Well, when you're putting in so much hard work, it's a 30-day long pageant, and at the end of it you want to win, that's for sure. But there's this one quality of not being competitive. I see competence, and there is a difference between the two. When we talk about a pageant and what kind of environment was there, it was all about sisterhood, first of all. We need to remember that we are humans first and then competitors. So that was the whole idea of being in the pageant. And whenever it happens that you get competitive, I feel that it kind of trails you out of your way, and that happens. So it's about how you can actually stay focused, how you can stay together. And there's this very beautiful thing about Miss Universe India or any pageant. After a queen wins, there's this moment happens where all of the contestants come and hug each other. They hug the queen. And that's the most beautiful part of the pageant. And that is what I truly feel that pageants stand for. I wouldn't lie that sometimes it can get a bit toxic. Sometimes people can forget what truly being a person feels like.
Oh, wow.
But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I've seen the most beautiful women of this country in that pageant,
Yeah.
who have come back, who have told me that, see Manika, we see you winning this. Do it for us. And that is what truly makes them special.
That's wonderful to hear, Manika, and I'm sure these are lifelong bonds and relationships
That we actually
that,
form, yes.
yeah, and I think everyone's growing, and we all, we grow every day. We want to be a better person every day. So a little bit of toxicity, I think that's pretty normal to have, because
It's
that's pretty
normal to
much
have,
there
yes.
in any industry, I think, that we're in. It's what you make out of it, and it's always great to have such supporters as you just mentioned. So moving on. You spoke about beauty on the inside and outside. I really want to ask you, there's so much conversation around inclusivity in the beauty and fashion space these days. And we have seen certain adaptations happening, and we have seen the change happening. But do you really, now that you're in the thick of it, you're in the industry, do you still feel we have a long way to go, or whatever work has been done so far, it's truly inspiring? We speak of body positivity, and so what do you have to say about that?
Well, as a person who has been observing pageants since 2013, I've seen growth happening in Miss Universe like anything. It's a pageant that allowed people of all shapes and sizes, people of all height to participate. It's the pageant that allowed trans women to participate. It's the pageant that allowed married women and mothers to participate. And not just participate, but also win. So that is what makes this pageant so special. I must say that since 2013, I used to feel that yes, there is a long way to go, and which still is. Because at the end of the day, industry has certain standards. When we look at a billboard, we want to see a woman of a certain size, a certain kind to be there. But at the same time, I believe beauty pageants, on the other hand, are taking that step up. They are taking that initiative to finally change that perception.
Right.
At Miss Universe India last year, we had 3 wonderful trans women as our contestants. This year, we had Tasneem Raza, who's 42, as a contestant, a mother, a wife. We've had Jacqueline Pradhan, who's a trans, a beautiful lady, being there on that stage representing Sikkim. And that is what truly inclusivity is all about. Yet I do feel that there's a long way to go. We need to acknowledge the efforts that are being made at this point.
Sure.
And I believe that Glaminant and Miss Universe India organization has done a wonderful job at it, not shying away, but truly standing up for what true inclusivity and inclusion means like.
So, Manika, in the past, we've had Miss Indias who've joined the industry, the film industry, the prestigious Indian film industry. So, do you have such certain plans in the future, or do you want to take a different path ahead?
Well, as far as the plans are concerned, I have changed my life plans so many times. At this point, even I don't know. But yes, acting is one field that has always fascinated me. So absolutely, I would love to explore that, and that is on the checklist. But apart from that, I also want to finish my education at this point. I'm in 3rd year of my college. So that's also another plan. And in future, I want to study so much. I feel like going to different institutions, learning something, giving out something. So yeah, that's about it.
Lovely, lovely. And I'm sure you'll juggle everything really well, because you also have the Miss Universe 2025 pageant in Thailand that's coming up, and you're juggling college with that. So all the best. Tell us how we can help you juggle all of that. So let's now talk about your preparations for the big day in November. Where you're representing India on this very prestigious global stage at Miss Universe 2025 in Thailand. So what again, you've already started your preparations. Tell us everything about it.
Well, the preparations behind a pageant are insane. It takes an army to participate in a pageant as huge as Miss Universe India, and I believe that I have the best team, to be honest. And that is what truly makes it so special. We are collaborating with international designers. We are bringing up the best wardrobe which has been seen. Hopefully, I aim that India is visible in the preparations. I hope India is visible on that stage. And we aim to do something different, and I hope that people will love it. On the side of the passerella, as we talk about the ramp walk, we have coach as Arnish sir, and I'm training with so many teachers such as Mihir sir, such as Ritika ma'am, and such as Rita ma'am. And we are hoping to bring the best of India over there.
Lovely. And ramp walk, I believe, is one of your strengths as it is. So we're sure, there's a big green check mark when it comes to ramp walk amongst the other parameters.
Ramp walk, I believe, has the most insane stories. And whenever I'm asked that how did you get comfortable in 6 inches, there's this little story that in January this year, I decided that I would walk around in my house in the 6 inches heels 24/7.
24/7?
Yes, so I tossed out my slippers when I was at home, whether I was cooking, whether I was walking, whether I was just having a walk on the terrace. I would still wear them. And after a while, I realized that after around 2 to 3 months, it was insane pain, but after 2 to 3 months, the pain subsided.
Oh, wow.
And it became so comfortable that it becomes a part of your
it's
body
second
language.
Nature.
Yes, it becomes second nature. And that is what happens in the ramp walk. I think you just have the most insane method.
We each of the past Miss Indias, we spoke about them. So, they represented a different India in the 90s or the 2000s, and then the new digital era that has now come in. What is the India, Manika, that you are representing? Tell us about that.
The India I am representing is the Vishwaguru. We are excelling in each and every field, whether we talk about technology or defense or education or healthcare. We are transforming not just lives, but also setting an example for the world. And we are finally going towards a direction where we are embracing our culture, drawing inspiration from it, and taking it to the world stage. So it's actually Vishwaguru, somebody who knows and is on the path of giving direction to everybody else in the world. That is the India that I'm representing.
And we're so proud to be a part of it and for you to represent the country on the international platform. So Manika, to all the people who are watching this and to all the women out there, what is that one message? What is that one message of hope that you want to give away when it comes to women across the world, women in your country, women of your state, Rajasthan? What would you like to tell them about representing their culture and just going for their dreams?
Well, the one message that I would like to give them is to always believe in themselves and get to know themselves first. I believe that as women, when we come from Rajasthan, it's a bit conservative. And the lesson is to find beauty in it. Coming from a state like that, I feel that we are burdened and we are pressurized with a lot of expectations, with a lot of perceptions around us. And for that situation, you need to first of all realize that you're human first, you're a person first, and then understand your strengths, your weaknesses and your dreams, and to actually venture towards it. You need to remember that you are a girl who has the ability to achieve everything and anything that you want, and to believe in magic of destiny. You need to stay focused, you need to make a plan of it, and then go ahead with it.
Well, that's wonderful, Manika, and thank you so much for all your time today, for sharing all your stories and insights. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we really hope you bring back the crown to India from Miss Universe in Thailand that's happening in November, and all the very best for that.